It's another edition of Litter Media Live, a special edition for you today, talking about a special thing right in downtown Chillicothe. The thing is right behind my shoulder here. This is the mail pouch mural, which is on the building that Ben Daughters owns. And, of course, downtown Chillicothe is all about Tiffany Baldwin. And she's the executive director of downtown Chillicothe, Ohio. And, of course, you're a past president as well.
I am.
We appreciate you coming in. We want to talk about the restoration of this beautiful mural that we've had on the building for a long time. We're going to talk more about that just ahead. But first, this from Classic Brands. Everyone who goes to the Majestic Theater or to the Poorhouse, you have seen, no doubt, the mural that is on the side of the building. Question number one for you, Ben. What's going to happen to the saying that you had put on underneath of that? Is that going to have to be removed and then put back on again?
I think it'll be able to stay.
Okay,
Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
Happy to see that.
Yes.
Because you put your own twist on that side of the building. Hey, you own it, right?
That is true. Yes.
Happy to hear that you were given a grant by the Ohio History Fund to be able to do this. Where did the idea come from? Because I know you mentioned to me a moment ago how much it's faded in just 10 years is incredible.
So this really started 2.5 years ago. There were a group of us having a conversation and about the murals downtown, and obviously downtown Chillicothe's mission is historic preservation. And we do a bunch of other things to support the overall mission of historic preservation, but that's really why we exist. And so the conversation around the murals, and specifically the mail pouch mural, came up, and we really, at that time, again 2.5 years ago, started to ask ourselves a question of how do we get this? How do we bring it back to life? And how do we make sure it's preserved and a great symbol on 2nd Street in downtown for many, many years to come? And that's really where the ball started rolling.
Mm-hmm. And of course, you got the money, but you also have the guy who's going to help restore this.
Yeah. So the artist's name is Scott Hagan. He's known as the Barn Artist. He's an Ohio guy. He's done a bunch of these mail pouch murals, but he also specializes in just general murals. And he's an expert at not only the mural process, but preserving the historical integrity of murals like the mail pouch mural. So we're really excited that Scott's able to help us out, and it's going to be great having him on board.
Yeah, and it's not the only one on 2nd Street. You've got the canal mural that's on the side of the building there at is it Mulberry and
in 2nd?
Yeah, 2nd. But you've got others downtown as well, right?
We do. So that's kind of on our docket moving forward. What's our second one going to be?
Yeah.
So we're going to kind of analyze and see what one we're going to tackle next.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
I know one that stands out that has aged is the Borden logo that's there on the side of the building of the Chillicothe Civic Theater. Is that too far out of the downtown Chillicothe area to be considered?
That's actually in our purview. We go all the way to Walnut Street to 5th.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's in our purview.
We like hearing that.
It's on the agenda.
Yeah. There's are there 6 or 7 murals downtown?
Roughly, yeah, you're right.
Yeah, and so the trick with all these murals is they're like anything that you're trying to preserve that's old. It takes a lot of money to do it, and it takes a lot of money to do it right. And so I think going back to that conversation we had 2.5 years ago was how do we start a mural restoration program throughout the downtown and really find a way to tackle all these murals kind of one by one and make sure that we don't lose any of them to time. And so the mail pouch mural just happens to be the first one on the list. And I think our goal from there is to figure out, use that as a test case of how do you raise the money to do the restoration? How do you execute the restoration? And then how do we build a larger program going from there?
It's probably also the oldest mural, isn't it?
So that's a great question. So the building that the mural is on is called Machinery Hall. It was built in 1881 by the original owners, and it was used as a farming and equipment store that really helped to build the agriculture roots of Ross County. So the building itself has some really cool historical and economic ties to the community. And like I said, it was built in 1881, and the Block brothers, who owned the Block Brothers Tobacco Company of Wheeling, West Virginia, who started the Mail Pouch Mural campaign. And we think that based on trying to connect the dots and put everything together, we think that this mural was painted probably in about 1890. And the reason we think that is because the building next door that burnt down, that hid the mural for all those years, was built in 1892. So trying to piece the time together. So it's old. It's really old.
Many people might remember, some may not. The younger set probably don't remember the hotel that was between the Majestic and your building. Mm-hmm. And then when that was brought down by fire, suddenly there's this mail pouch. What's this all about?
Yeah.
Where did this come from?
That's a really cool part of the story, I think, too, that that mural was lost to time for 115 years until 2006 when the property next door to us caught fire and had to be demolished. No one knew that mural was there, and all of a sudden it's like, holy smokes, where'd that come from? So I think that's just another really interesting piece of the story of that mural.
Yeah. And I'm thinking of another one there on Main Street. It's on the side of the Masons building there. It seems like was there like Susie's Gifts? I think they created one at one point in time.
Yes. I think it's kind of gone now. And yeah, that was just for obviously that business that was in that building. Right.
Yeah. The more things change, the more they stay the same, I guess.
There's actually a Coca-Cola one downtown.
Was there?
Yeah.
There is. It's still there.
You can still see part of it.
I don't recall where
it's on Walnut Street.
Is it on Walnut Street?
Across the street from Carl's.
Yeah.
Okay. I have to take a closer look. The difficulty with this is when you're driving, you're watching out for pedestrians and everything. you missed some of that.
Well, that's the great thing about downtown Chillicothe is it encourages you to park your car, get out and walk around.
Right.
Such a great walkable downtown.
Exactly. Is this the first of something we might see happening more and more? I mean, not just murals, but people taking history a little more seriously and trying to do more restoration.
I mean, of course, that's what we encourage. So in the grant, this particular grant that gave us the most recent award, which was the Ohio History Connection, as you referred to. So part of how we were going to implement this is I want to take it a step further and hopefully get it into some of the curriculum in the school systems, whether it's through the art program or if they want to stick it into the history program or classes. That's wherever the school would want to input it. But it just tells the story of our community. And it can be a short little segment. But again, it's just letting the people in today's day and age know what that stood for, what it meant. So I'm very, very hopeful that it's going to go a step further and get these kids involved so they know more about our community.
I know when the Chillicothe City Schools were redoing their buildings, part of that was incorporating the history of the Chillicothe area into so much of the theme that you see inside of the primary building and the intermediate building. And to give that kind of forethought that 50 years down the road, people are going to be able to still learn our history. It's important to take those steps.
Absolutely. And the history walks that occasionally happen. I think we just had one over the weekend. I mean, that would have been a great opportunity to talk about this mural and show what's happened over time with it. So, yeah.
I like that idea. For people who want to help out, I understand that in this fund, you can even make contributions. So any interested persons can do that.
Right, exactly. So this particular fund is funded two ways. One, you have to physically make the decision to check this on your taxes. I want to commit or donate X amount of dollars to this particular fund. That's the first way. The second way is to purchase a license plate that has a mastodon on it. So again, these are two conscious efforts of making donations to this fund. It's not coming out just because you're a taxpayer. So some people don't have the correct information on how it's funded, but they explained that to us when they granted us the check last week. So that was kind of cool.
You mentioned the mastodon. Of course, if you've ever been to the Ohio History Connection, there is a mastodon there. Of course, we have one here in Chillicothe now too, at the Ross County Heritage Museum. So,
Yeah, that's pretty cool. Yes, for sure. So I would be remiss if I didn't also mention, so in addition to the Ohio History Connection, as Ben had mentioned, this has been a long process. 2.5 years he started this conversation. These things don't happen overnight. Like, there's a lot of planning, and when it comes time for grant writing, we applied for this particular grant in October, and we just are getting it. Actually, it was September that we applied for it. So, it's months until you finally hear what happens. But I would be remiss if I didn't also mention some of the other donors that have helped us. So we got a couple of other grants as well through the Hernstein Family Fund. And we also got some funding through the Ohio Arts Council, their Art Start program. And then in addition to the Poorhouse at Machinery Hall, the History Store, the Ross Chillicothe Convention and Visitors Bureau, and the Dave Daughters Memorial Fund. So, and then the Barnstormers, which is an organization that helps restore these murals on these old barns. So those 9 entities are what helped bring this whole project together.
like you say, there's so much work that goes into the application.
Right.
Then there's the hoping, and then you get the word, and you have a moment of euphoria. But then the other work has to start, and
Right.
and so the restoration is expected to begin in June.
Mid-June.
Will this be before or after the truck parade?
After.
Yeah. Unfortunately, it's probably going to have to happen after.
I figured that would be the case because I
Yes.
pictured trying to have all that and scaffoldings and everything up, and
Yeah.
it just wouldn't go.
It's actually going to be a very quick process. So it'll start first with Scott Hagan painting the mural. He actually stays on site, so his RV will be parked in the Majestic parking lot, and it'll only take him like 3 to 5 days, weather depending. So it's really quick. And then after that, Ben had brought up a great point. So once the mural is vibrant again, we want to spotlight this. So we're going to put some downlighting on the top of Machinery Hall, highlighting the mural to make sure that it's lit evening and day. So the lighting will happen after the painting, and that will take 7 days maybe. So it's only going to be like a 2-week project. So not long at all.
Very nice.
Yeah.
I'll have to ask you off the air this question, but I'm looking for permission on doing something. So
Okay.
we'll talk about that afterwards.
Sounds good.
This is the tip of the iceberg for the many things that are happening downtown, and we appreciate you coming in to share about this project, because to know these people and their labor of love for what they do for downtown Chillicothe is fantastic. And you're not paid handsomely for it. You are paid in all the wonderful comments that people make about our downtown. So thank you.
Thank you.
What you do.
Appreciate you having us.
Thank you. Ben Daughters and Tiffany Baldwin. Of course, Tiffany will be back in with us to talk more about other stuff, because she's always doing something. That's this edition of Litter Media Live, brought to you today by our friends at Classic Brands. Thanks for watching.